Okay, so it's time to get started on the welding cart. I've got my cut list here. I can put a copy of it down there at the bottom, but I just figured out the least amount of waste here by adding these up to how I wanted to cut and whatnot. So I've got them cut in order here. The ones with the asterisks, I'm going to cut at a 45-degree angle for the frame on the bottom and the top. The rest are all going to be 90-degree cuts. So anyway, I'm just going to start cutting all these out, and then we'll get to welding. Alright, 3 sticks of 1.5 16 gauge should be enough for the entire frame. I'm going to get all those cut down and then we'll start putting it together. Okay, so there we go. Got them all cut out and we're ready to put them together. I did forget to cut the 45s on the top and bottom frame, but I can just do that with the bandsaw right before I'm ready. Probably would have been easier to go ahead and do it on the miter, but I got to going and cutting and I forgot about it. But luckily it's the long end, so they're at the right length anyway, and we just need to cut the 45s off into the small ends to make the corners, or maybe I won't do that and I'll just make it a square and plug them on the ends, but I'll probably cut them. Okay, because I didn't cut the 45s and I didn't draw it in SketchUp with the 45s, 2 years later and quite a few texts back and forth, he laid it out on the table and was kind of figuring it all out, and we ended up having to chop some of these off so they fit inside the frame ends instead of 45s meeting together. Anyway, that was all we did, was kind of modified our plan a little bit, and it all worked out in the end. Better off to do the stuff when you're thinking of it, not 2 years later, and you would have avoided this, but modify, adjust, and it still comes out pretty much like you want it. I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. It's a really good cart. It's got everything on one thing now. Kind of got rid of all that stuff in the corner there you can see behind him. Alright, so he's just going to finish laying everything out, make sure it all fits and everything, since he had to cut a few, and then start welding it up.
I got the marks.
Alright, and so now that he's got the top and bottom frames together, now he hasn't fully welded anything yet. They're all just tacked together pretty good and everything. He's installing the uprights. I think there's 6 of them, and then he will put them together by putting the top frame on them. Here he's just welding it together using these straps to pull it together and get it squared. And just lots of welding now. All these joints and everything, there's a whole bunch going on. So it took him a little while to get it all welded together completely. This piece is what we came up with for the gas bottle hold down instead of chains. We decided to go with a piece of square tube. He drilled a hole and put this bolt in there, and then we later he bent a piece of flat bar that'll in the shape of the bottles that'll slide right onto that bolt. Then just welded about 2/3 of the way of where the bottles would be, and you just use a hand nut and tighten it down, and it works great. Here he's making some caster brackets or mounting plates. I think he just used some of the 3/8 plate that we have in our bin, and then he's tapping them so that you can screw the bolts in. He decided to go this way instead of welding the casters on in case we wanted to upgrade, or you know, you ruin one and you need to change it out, then you can just unbolt it and put the new one back on. Okay, now he's just cutting out the 2 pieces of expanded metal that we're going to use for our top and bottom pieces. We went with this instead of originally I had drawn it up with that piece of either plywood or MDF or something, and we just decided that this is a little cleaner and nicer for a welding cart, so that's what we decided to go with. And then just mounting the top piece right now and get to the bottom one in a little bit. And starting about right here, it's just some welding, some more welding, some more welding, and welding, and welding. I think he did almost every little place where it was touching the square tube. And just continues on.
Alright, well, I forgot to get the camera out, but I got 2 of them welded up already. These are going to be our cord hangers. These are just $5 hose hangers from Walmart. And I chopped it off right there because we didn't need all that sticking up. And I ended up with this right here. I ground the paint off and got rid of all the burrs. And these are getting welded onto here. Up at the top. You know, like I said, I already got 2 on the floor that I forgot to turn the camera on for, but we'll weld this one up here, and then I'll show you how we're going to mount them to the welding cart. Just going to center it up a little bit. And looks pretty good. All right, there you go. Not the best welding, but it'll for sure hold some cords. So this hot. I welded this bolt on here, and this one is going to go on this smaller square tube because we need this one to be removable, and I'll show you that in a minute. But basically, just drilled a hole in the corner of the tube, and welded a nut on there with a bolt.
Alright, well, I'm going to have to cut it off right there. I got most of it, but next week I'll have the rest of the video up with all the little attachments and the electric and all the little things that we've done to it since, and some good shots of it. But I'm just going to end it right here as he's starting to weld on the holders and some things. Anyway, as always, we thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.